Right then, basic checks, or what some people call them are pre-engine checks, first parade checks, pre-running checks, whatever you want to call it. These are the checks that I do prior to going off sailing. Oh, hold on a minute, I don't think I'm allowed to do that, am I? Prior to going off sailing. So I'll just quickly run you through them, what I'm looking for, and it's really very similar to a car, but how many people actually open the bonnet on their car until the washer bottle runs out? Anyway, these checks are in no particular order, but I will just go through them. So what I do is, this is a grease tube that goes down into the packing gland, and I just give that a quick turn, and that will send grease down the tube and into there and there. So I also have a quick look, see how much water's in there, and if it's dripping, you can either pump a bit more grease in or tighten the packing gland up by these two nuts, and then that stops water coming into this bay. But as you can see, I put a nappy in there because there is a little bit of water in there, and we'll get it dried out. My next check is the cooling. Just take the cap off, have a look inside, and you can't really see, it's too dark, but I will top that up with some fresh coolant, because when this was replaced, obviously a bit of coolant dropped out. So now the system's had a good run through, I'll be able to top that up. I'm also going to check, and this is going to be quite hard for you to see, down there, he's saying down there, oh, I can't really see it, that is the oil dipstick. I will take that out and show you what I'm looking at on that. Right, so I've just taken it out, and I've wiped the old oil off. I'm just trying to get that's better. So you can see there are two lines, this line here where my finger is, and the line there. Your oil ideally needs to be between them two lines, but more towards, I don't know if it'll pick it up, if I can get my finger in there, it's further down than I thought. Oh god, more towards this line. This is the upper range, and this one is the lower range. Now you don't want it above the upper, and you definitely don't want it below the lower. So what I do is I'll dip that back in, check it, if it's in between that range, I'll be happy. But I'm not going to show you that, you've got the idea, I do believe. Right, here we go then. Right, I'm happy with that, that's where I like it to be. And then I just, every now and then, not every day before I go out, is have a quick check of the battery. So I'll take this off, make sure there's no loose cables and that, and we should be alright. What else am I looking at? I'm also looking for any leaks. So I just have a quick scan over the pipe junctions, around the engine, and because that area has all been dried out and all down here has been dried out, if there is a leak I will notice straight away. So yeah, really for me that's about it. Apart from, the only other thing I would do is just check the tension on the alternator belt, just to make sure that's alright. Yep, that's not got too much play in it, so we're good to go. So all I've got to do is top up this cooling system, and then the engine will be ready to start. I'll let it run for 10 or 15 minutes on about 1,000, well, yeah, 10 or 15 minutes on about 1,000 revs. Let the system run round. I.e. what I mean is, so the cooling passes around the system, through the engine and that, the oil's running through, and then I'll switch it off. I'll have a quick look inside again, just to make sure nothing's come loose. That way I know, or should be okay to go sailing. And then that's about it really. There's not much more to check. Only other things I do is I make sure all the cooker is switched off, all the knobs are to zero, so there's no gas leaking. All things that I've got that may fall off, like the fans on top of the fire, I'll take them off and put them on the floor, because sometimes if you hit a lock or the lock wall comes in too fast, it does make things fall over. So just make the boat safe for its journey. And that is now ready for me to start. There is a reason why we do these checks, and this little badger has come off from here, so it just keeps the gearbox cable in position. So now I know I can tighten it up. There are benefits to doing these checks. Haha! Well, I decided to have a bit of lunch out. Went to a charity cafe, just behind me, up on the bridge there, Ellen Bridge. Rusty's it's called. Food was really cheap, or should I say well priced, and coffee was great. They train their own barristers in there, or baristas, but it was a nice thing to see. And you can make donations, or you can make food donations, or you can take food if you're that way inclined, or if you're feeling a little bit flush, you can make a donation to their charity, which is a bit like a food bank, but they give hot meals to people. So that's something to consider if you're passing through this area. It was actually quite good, and I was impressed with it. Bit of a bric-a-brac shop there as well, and they've also got a bit of a bike shed downstairs where I think they repair bikes and do them up and sell them on. So yeah, very good charity setup actually. I'm glad I went there. Wow, a little trip out from Narrowboat to Little Ducks, and we're at Wayne House Tower. Amazing design, and that, just let you see there. But if you want to know more about it, go onto the website. It's absolutely fantastic, the history on it. It is impressive, and I'm guessing the views on a really clear day would be just as impressive. Apparently you can go up there on the 3rd Saturday of every month according to the website. It's been updated apparently, and the 1st Wednesday of every month. But you have to book. I tried to book for last Saturday and no chance. Glad I never actually, because it was absolutely chucking it down with rain. 396 steps I believe to the top, so if you're not into that sort of thing, I wouldn't suggest going up there, but I'm going to go up there one day, even if I have to come back and visit it. So part of being on a narrowboat is you've got to get water, and various places along the canal system there are basically water pipes, and you hook up your hose and fill up your water tank. Simple as that. But it's finding these, because sometimes they're either damaged or they're in an extremely awkward place. However, this one up here, which I used earlier, is pretty accessible. Now you're given a time limit. They normally say 30 minutes maximum or an hour maximum, but if there's no one around, you just fill up your tank. And whilst I was there, I used my shower, because why not? Filling up with water, make use, as they say. And it's a very, you gotta think about these things, you know, when you're moving around. Where's your next walk point? How long are you going to be stopping for? So let's go and have a look at it. So, very simply, you find one of these, you stick your key in, open up this, connect your hose, and there's a tap inside there, and you basically fill up. It's as simple as that. But then it gets awkward, because you can just see the building there. Now there's a water stanchion exactly the same as that, but it doesn't work. So it just tells you what a pain it can be sometimes. But anyway, I'm filled up, showered, cup of tea. What more do I want?